Posting pictures on the gram so other people know that we're more than friends. And ever since you came around, I've never been sober, always in my head. Met you at a time when I was so low. Went from just talking to taking you home. I don't wanna go back to who I used to be. So if you ever leave me, promise you won't let me down. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine.
Mistakes in judgment or action are the result of making the wrong choices, not understanding correctly or identifying incorrectly. It is like well lived by Omobola Stephen, that sassy, frank and open cheek of yours. It's a new day, a fresh start. So what are you up to today? Wanna share with me? Remember, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Omobola Stephen, or like my Facebook page, Blue Buttons Communications Networks, to catch up missed episodes of my show. Who knows, you can read up some life-changing blog posts too. So I want to talk about the 7 reasons why people make the wrong choice. Here are my top 7 reasons. Let's go.
I was knocked down, heard the countdown through the haze, in the face of defeat, yeah. I was ruled out, with no bailout, on my own, all alone, left to bleed out. But I rose up from the ground, just like I was spellbound.
Okay, first of all, I want you to know that you may not be able to determine exactly when and how you're going to meet your spouse. But the question is, with whom do you associate with? Is it with people of questionable character, or people with a bad reputation, or men and women of good and easy virtue? A person with a paralyzing fear of heights would not be a wise choice as a climbing partner to scale the slopes of Mount Everest. Now, also a bird and fish can fall in love, but the big question is, where are they going to build their home? In the air, where one half of the couple cannot survive, or in the sea, where the other half will die? Nothing should be more important to you than your partner's spiritual well-being. A radical transformation of our inner being will have a profound impact on our priorities, goals, decisions, lifestyles, and therefore our relationships. So, every choice we make in life has an underlying motive, a need, or a desire that activates the will and stimulates us into action. The choice of your spouse is no different, and some examples of such motives include someone like a widow who just needs a mother for his children. 2. A refugee or immigrant who needs to legalize his or her status. 3. An orphan who needs the security of a home. 4. A politician, a pastor, community leader who needs a first lady. 5. A sickly person who needs a nurse. 6. A non-entity who needs a name. 7. A dysfunctional person who needs healing or deliverance. 8. A frustrated unemployed person who needs financial support. So, here are my top 7 reasons. Let's go! Number 1, moved by flesh. Instead of using courtship to build a natural friendship, commitment, and enduring qualities like godly character, virtue, integrity, and compatibility, some couples and people indulge in premarital sex and sexual pleasures, forgetting that casual sex will result in a casual relationship. Strong emotions will not produce strong commitment, just as compromise cannot produce total dedication in your engagement. Sin, especially sexual sin, is degradation, violation, disrespect, unfulfillment, humiliation, and coercion of God's most valuable resource, the human being. Sex only cheapens a relationship and breeds suspicion, disappointment, stress, emptiness, and other destructive emotions. And much more often than not, it leads to unsuccessful and failed relationships. Human determination and achievement will only take you far, but depending on the strength of God is very key. So, according to Catherine Marshall, she said, helplessness is one of the greatest assets a human being can have if it is coupled with knowing God. Beautiful. When we accept the truth of our own inadequacy in the light of God's limited power and infinite love for us, we can trust Him to do above all that we ask or think of. So, we can do all things. Number 2 is moving by sight. Most people get into an affair because they add means, often financial or material means, that will help them escape their own adverse circumstances. This is lost. What happens if the circumstances change or the person discovers your true motives? What happens? When you get engaged to someone in order to use them as a ticket to gain access to the certain circles, then it is lost. However, don't become paranoid by this factor. If you are from a wealthy background, do not begin to suspect that anyone interested in you is only after your wealth. Not at all. Likewise, if you are from a humble background, it doesn't mean that if you are attracted to someone from a wealthy background than yours, you are after their wealth. It's not in mean at all. The important factor is to check for your motives and also to know the other person well to understand their real motives for desiring you. Absolutely. Let's move at egoistic tendencies. I will be right back. It is egoistic tendencies, which means that it is destructive tendencies that make people want to assert themselves over others. Thus, they are unable to truly love and respect other people. Yet, respect is critical to a successful relationship. Respect is about caring about the other person's best interest and not pushing only for personal gain. Yet the egocentric people will always want to attract those who fit well into the circle. To them, they aren't willing to give or contribute to the other person's lives. That's selfishness. This side of people actually have a false and inflicted idea of their own importance. Sometimes a man may be engaged not because he loves and respects a woman, but because he wants a wife who will. Let's see. Number 1, satisfy his sexual desires legally. Number 2, someone who cooks his food. Number 3, someone who can take care of his parents. Number 4, someone to take care of his siblings. Number 5, someone who can improve his financial position. Number 6, someone that can assist him in securing business connections. And lastly but not the least, someone who is the beauty queen he can parade amongst his friends. Now, let's balance it. A woman can be engaged in order to have a man who will satisfy her sexual desires legally. Next, someone who has financial security. Number 3, someone who supports her parents financially. Number 4, someone who improves in her academic endeavors. Number 5, someone who provides material needs such as clothes, jewelry, cars, and number 6, go on vacations. These examples reflect selfish motives and desires and not love. Such individual is fundamentally interested in making themselves happy, not being bothered about the feelings of other person. Absolute selfishness. Let's look at pressure. Remember, I'm talking about the 7 reasons why most people make mistakes in their relationships prior going to marriage. So it's very absolute and it's very important for you to listen to what I'm about to say. Number 4 is pressure. Pressure manifests in different ways. It could be parental or family pressure. For example, if your parents or the extended family want you to marry Mr. X or Miss Y for certain reasons. Also, we have the peer pressure, like the situation where most of your friends are getting engaged or are engaged and you feel left out because most of the conversations now center around marriage-related issues. If you do not put a check on this, you could take a wrong decision. So you need to watch out. Age also puts pressure on people, and you will agree with me. As these people becomes older in life, they are very frantic in their move to be engaged anyhow, somehow, or anyway. I don't know why. Age really can cause family pressure as everyone in the family is reminding you of your last birthday or the next. Now, if you allow yourself to be caught in the pressure, there is the tendency for you to want to create an avenue for escape. That is, from insecurity or abuse, false dreams, visions, and prophecies, which could cause more danger to your life in the long run. Another thing is that there is always a time for everything. I want you to know that. I'm not saying that you should sit back like a couch potato and expect to see the man or woman suddenly. Not at all. All I'm saying is that inasmuch as you don't want to be pressured into doing what you don't want to do, you should also put an action in place. You mustn't wait till you're fully ready for marriage before you start taking action. Not at all. Start praying about it even when you know it isn't time yet. It's always better to always be prepared. Let's look at the hasty syndrome. Hasty is often linked with some form of pressure. When two people haven't taken the time enough to know each other during the courtship period, the result is often a failed or at least or at best a stormy marriage even when they are together. After the euphoria of a short courtship that ends in a hasty marriage at one of, reality and unpleasant revelations sets in. All this could have been avoided if the parties are slowed down. What do you think? Time is the tested and trusted healer. It always reveals true motives at the long run. So, here are reasons why you should take your time. Take your time, I tell you.
You left me stranded, looking like a fool. All those nights alone in our bedroom. You said one thing and did another. Somebody ought to come along and let you down, so you could see my side and how it feels to hit the ground. How can you say that nothing's different, that we should pick up the pieces? Somebody ought to come along and let you down.
So, there are reasons why you should take your time in a relationship. Number one is that you need to take time to build a relationship. You cannot build a lasting relationship in haste, regardless of your convictions that the other person is your partner. Number two is impatience is a sign of immaturity. If you aren't mature enough to wait, you're probably not mature enough to marry yet. Getting married in such circumstances can lead to divorce. Number three is that it takes time to know who a person really is. It's been said that behavior is what men know and women know of you, but character is what God and angels know of you. Let me repeat myself. It's been said that behavior is what men and women know of you, but character is what God and the angels know of you. Beautiful. In other words, good behavior can be faked to deceive human beings, but God reveals true character in the process of time. Discovering true character takes time. Wait patiently in the place of prayer, and a person's motive will be revealed along the line. Next, you need to know a person's strengths and weaknesses. The latter may not come to light in a few months as your partner to be or will be making conscious effort to show his or her best side or good side during this period. I know that. Also, you may be unconsciously blind to the faults during this period, choosing only to observe the good traits because you are so in love. You need to be careful, really. Next, waiting patiently will help you to test your convictions that your intended is God's will for your life. Sometimes when we claim we have heard from God, we have been hearing our emotions, will, or desires. Oops, what did I just say? That's the truth. Time will reveal if your intention is part of God's will for your life. I mean time. So, take time to check your partner's values, goals, convictions, and personality. If you aren't compatible spiritually, socially, and mentally, then you didn't hear God. Did you hear me? You didn't hear God at all. Also, if you haven't found a good person who does good things, then you haven't found God's will. Absolutely. Next, let's look at disobedience. Disobedience is a critical issue. I mean critical. There have been cases where Christian men and women knew the right thing to do and chose to make a decision that violates all they know to be right and good. Sometimes it is clear that there are warning signs about the person you're in love with which should prompt you to walk away. The person may be a liar, a deceit, a night-crawler, mischievous, or dubious person. This person also may not help you in your self-esteem or always make you lose your self-power or any negative tendencies. All these are warning signs that should jolt you to reality. You deceive yourself when you ignore or believe the problem will get better or go away. It will not, because it's not easy to change people. If you're disobedient to God's word in choosing the spouse, you cannot blame God for the consequences that your choice brings. Absolutely, you will have to bear it alone, and you don't want that. Lastly but not the least, let's look at low self-esteem. This is a very important issue in the life of most single people. I was once a victim. What do you think of yourself? How will you describe yourself to someone if you're being objective? Now, that's important. The picture you have of yourself is crucial to your choice of a marriage partner, because really, we attract people who feed off what we think of ourselves. Think about that. When you think you're helpless, you will attract such people who will reinforce that idea in your mind. So, most people who suffer low self-esteem give their hearts away to the undeserving because they know how much it is worth. Well, because they don't know how much it's worth. Let me repeat myself. Most people who suffer low self-esteem, really, they give their hearts away to the undeserving because they don't know how much it is worth. Oops, that's so hard. They are empty and spend their efforts finding fulfillment in external things that will not satisfy them. They often end up badly bruised. Badly bruised. As Trent Shelton rightly said, I love this quote, the right decisions are usually the hardest to make, but they must be made in order to live the life that you want. Nice one. And now, the show is coming to a close. It's been a wonderful time here, and I believe this time is for you too. You can catch up missed episodes on my blog site, youmattertolife.com, or on all the major distributing channels like Podcast Addicts, Listen Notes, Apple iTunes, Castbox, Ahead Radio, and others. You can also subscribe to my YouTube page, Omobola Steven. Till I come your way next time, do this for me. Stay safe. Ciao. Peace. Love you.